Yala Sangha. Welcome to day 2 of our 31 days of yoga. There are many definitions of yoga. Quite often you'll read, if you're reading a book or you hear somebody talk, they'll say that it's related to joining or to union. And for sure that's one meaning of the word yoga, but the Yoga Sutras, which is for us and for me one of the main teachings of yoga, the main text on yoga, it means the steadiness of your mind. Okay, so we're really looking to make our minds a little bit more steady, a bit more focused. You know, people thousands of years ago realised that actually one of the issues with being human is that our minds are easily distracted and easily upset, you know, and that influences the rest of our lives, our movement, our relationships. So if we can control our minds and steady our minds, happy days, right? So let's continue with our mobilization. What we're going to do today is do it from a seated position, and tomorrow we'll do it from a position lying on our backs. So take your fingers, okay, and spread them out. We're going to start with our hands and wrists and elbows and shoulders. And again, like we did yesterday, circling them around. Get them moving slowly. Try and get the full range of motion. So sometimes when we do that, you hear little clicks and pops. Okay, and then to add to today, we're going to bring our hands together. And keep one hand really passive and one hand firm, making the movement, okay? And you probably start with the hand that's firm with, if you're right-handed or left-handed, okay? Because that will be the most obvious choice. That will be your habit that you'll go to, and we'll talk about habits throughout the month. Well done in joining today, right? We're 2 days in. Okay, and then try and keep your more dominant hand side passive and use the other hand to make the rotations. And you can switch between the two if you're starting to feel that, okay? And you can do a little movement like that, old school breakdancing. But it is actually nice to get your wrists and your fingers and your elbows and your forearms all moving together. You can try and change the direction, which becomes a little bit harder. So think of like you're kind of leading with one hand and then try and lead with the other hand. You can see it's a little bit clunky for me too. Okay, shake it off through the wrists, through your forearms, and then again start to make your elbow rotations. And the other way. Good. Good, feels a little easier than before, than yesterday. And then fingers on your shoulders and make these as wide as you can just now. If you can make them a little bit slower and a little deeper. There's a phrase that we use in Thai massage. You can never go too deep, you can only go too fast, okay? So when we're applying pressure and trying to ease our bodies off, if we go too fast, sometimes our body reacts. But if we go slow and keep our body encouraged, then things are a little bit easier. Good. Shake off all through your arms, right? We're going to do our feet, so bring your feet out, place them flat on the ground, lift up your toes, lift up the body of your foot, and just let yourself turn this from side to side. Okay. Remember, sit on a cushion or something that makes you comfortable today. Good. And then stick your legs a little bit straighter and do ankle rotations from here. I know this is all simple, so if you're getting bored, don't worry. It's functional and useful for our bodies. Okay, we'll do one-armed handstands by the end of the month. Good. And then bring one leg up and do a single leg rotation on this side, or single foot rotation on the side and on the other side. Good. And then circle your knee around. And this is really getting into your hip, okay? And then change directions with that. Keeping your leg fairly passive. Good. And then let your foot drop and your knee drop and just move them from side to side in this way. Good. Let that leg come out. Shake it off, both legs off. Bring your other foot in, okay? Take your hands around your knee. Start to do your circles with this foot here. Seeing how that feels for you. Good. One way, another way. And then circle your knees around. Seeing how that feels for you. And good. So you're moving into the hip, and then let your foot come out sideways, your knee come out sideways. Move this from side to side. Good. And let your feet go flat, and let your knees, you can put your hands behind. I'm actually going to move this cushion because it's more of a hindrance than a help at the moment. Okay, so take your hands behind and let your knees go from side to side. So yesterday we did standing up, sitting down without using our hands too much. Though use your hands, right? Like, these are all suggestions and options. You have to work out what's right for you, okay? Quite often I say in class, imagine this is like a conductor and you're the expert in your instrument, which is you. So you decide what you want to do, okay? So let the knees both come out wide and then come together now. Come out wide, come together, come out wide, come together, come out wide. Okay, good. Bring your feet away from each other and then towards each other. The heels touch. Okay, all these movements that we're capable of, but probably don't make that often. Okay, if you're okay sitting cross-legged, sit cross-legged. If you want a cushion again, reach for your cushion. I'm going to start with some spinal mobility now. So we've done our wrists, our elbows, our shoulders, our feet, our ankles, our knees, our hips. So let yourself start to circle your body around. Try and make these circles again as wide as feels comfortable for you. What you'll notice is that your weight shifts, obviously. You feel different parts of your body pressure into the ground as we do this. And you can change this around. Okay. Good. Come to a seated position where you feel like you can sit tall. Okay. Take an inhale. And exhale, slowly go forward. Let your fingers come in front. Let your hands come in front. Let your elbows maybe come a little bit closer to the ground. Try and relax your shoulders, right? When we're making movement, the more tense we are, the more restricted our movement is going to be. Slowly come up. Take your hands behind. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. So draw your shoulders back and elevate your chest. Maybe slightly lift your chin. Try some side-to-side movement if that's feeling right for you today. Bring your left hand forward to your right knee and turn. Use the hands as traction. And then gently release that. Try the other hand on the opposite knee. Use that as traction. Come back towards the center. Try one more time either side. And sometimes in between this movement, it's useful to inhale your arms all the way up and then exhale, turn. Come back towards the center. Let your left hand rest on the floor inhale up through your right hand, reach a little bit higher than you think you can, and draw your body over to the side. Reach through your fingers, look up underneath your armpit, and then try the other side. Inhale, go tall, reaching, and exhale, coming over. Good. One more time either side. Inhale, tall, reaching up, exhale over. Inhale, tall, reaching, and exhale over. Come back to the centre. Keep a smile on your face, remember. And go forward one more time. Moving your shoulders. Maybe you can soften enough that your head can come a little closer to the floor. But that's not going to be possible for everybody. Just see how you feel with that. And then slowly come back up. Good. Okay. So let's go back to the things that we've been doing already. So the movement practices. Let's stand up and sit down without using your hands too much if you can. So see if you can come all the way up and come all the way down. Okay, maybe switch sides, come all the way up. Okay, and come all the way down. Good. Give your legs a shake off after that. Tap them up and down. There's a couple of movements that we'll again do most days. We didn't do them yesterday, but I think are really useful for a human body to be able to do in terms of the health of our joints and health of our bodies. So these are kneeling and squatting. So we'll start from an all fours position with our hands forward, our knees towards the middle, lifting and laying to get comfortable, and then walk your hands back towards your knees and let your hips come to rest on your heels. Now for some people, it's not so comfortable to knee, okay? And if that's you, place something underneath your shins or something underneath your hips, between your heels and your hips, and rest into that position. See how that feels. Okay. And with time, kneeling should come back, okay? You know, it might have been years since we were able to kneel, or we might kneel all the time. If you're somebody whose job involves kneeling, a lot of people who work like plumbers and electricians have to kneel quite a lot. And it's kind of nice to see if you can hang on in here in a kneeling position. And if you are super comfortable kneeling, I'll give you lots of variations over the course of the month. For just now, I'm just moving from side to side, like I'm massaging my buttocks with my heels. So we also want to be able to squat, okay? And squatting, I've said many times, is a very natural human position to hold your body in. It's good for your knees, it's good for your hips. It's actually very good if you go to the bathroom in a squatting position. It really helps with the process, okay? So take your hands forward, push your hands into the ground and maybe hop, knee and struggle. Maybe take a book or cushion or something where you can press your heels into it a bit more, okay? I think that ankle flexibility for a lot of people is an issue, which is why some people can't squat, including me, in terms of like just getting my heels a bit more comfortably onto the ground. Good. And then from there, push your feet into the floor and stand up, okay? Now a lot of people lean forward, okay? Which is okay initially, but if you can, try and let your weight come down so you're using the strength of your legs. And then push up, okay? Now if you struggle with this, and it's not going to be for everybody, use some door handles and hold them, and just use them to control your weight coming down, and control your weight coming up, okay? Try one more. Slowly coming down, and then slowly coming up. Good. Give your legs a wee shake off. Arms a wee shake off. Let's do our balance work for today. So put your weight on your left foot, turn your right foot out. We're going to do tree posture again, but this time we're going to add something. So bring your foot up or keep your toes down. Put it where it feels comfortable for you. Maybe press your palms together. See if you can look over one shoulder. Back towards the front. And over your other shoulder. And back towards the front. Okay. Good. Place your foot down. Give yourself a wee shake off. Try the other side. Put your weight on your foot. Turn your toes out. Okay. Bring your foot in. Bring a little bit higher. If you want. Okay. Obviously all the way up if you feel like that today. And from there, once you feel steady, and only if you feel steady really, okay, turn to look over one shoulder. Back towards the front, over the other shoulder, back towards the front, and let that foot come down. Give everyone a wee shake off. Take a seat. Take your cushion. So I have a couple of cushions here. I have many things that I use to sit on. So this nice little cushion, you get something like this for under £20, maybe even under £2 if you go to the right place probably. So you can set your hips on that, let your legs rest on the floor, let your shoulders soften. And like yesterday, we're not going to change anything in terms of our breath today. All we're going to do is focus on the smoothness and the slowness of our breath, okay? So let your shoulders settle, your face settle. Take some slow inhales and some slow exhales. Smooth and slow. And again, notice like yesterday where your mind goes, disappears to, and that's okay, that's just what happens as soon as we bring our mind to focus on one thing like our breath. The mind starts to get bored quite quickly and wants to disappear and switch to other things. So bring your mind again back to your breath. For this next section, for our final section together, if you want to lie on the floor and you've got time to lie on the floor and pause the video or stop the video, then you're welcome to do that. So give yourself a moment to do that. And all we're going to do is be like for our final thing together, is another method of relaxing our body, is be a little bit like an MRI scanner for our whole body on our own. We'll let our attention start at the top of our head and slowly come down. Through our forehead, through our eyes, through our nose and our mouth, through our chin, our throat, through your shoulders, through your chest, through the lower part of your ribs, your abdomen, your waist, your thighs, your knees, your lower legs, your ankles, through your feet and your toes. If you're in a position where you're lying down, you want to rest longer, rest longer. If you're in a seated position, you want to sit longer, then sit longer. Try and let the effects of your practice influence the rest of your day. So as you become calmer and kinder to yourself, you become calmer and kinder with other people. Thank you, everybody. Yala Sangha.